Hey guys, you know how people sell unsearched penny rolls when they're actually not unsearched? Well, these are 100% legitimate unsearched. You could find a key date in them. People have actually found 1909S VDBs and other key dates from these rolls from Coins TV. So I actually picked up a bunch of rolls myself. We're going to do a video where we go through and see what we find. Now, if you guys want a roll, you guys can get one very cheap and affordable on Coins TV. The link is below this video. And when you guys go through them, please let me know what you guys find. Come back and comment on this video and let me know what you guys find, because people have been finding really good stuff in these. I picked up like 200 rolls just for myself. So if you want one, hit the link below. Coins TV wheat penny rolls. Today we're looking at what can give your quarters a lot of value. We're going to be looking at the 1977 Washington quarter. So first up here is a mint error on a 1977 quarter that is known as an improperly annealed planchet. Now the coin is graded and authenticated by NGC at a mint state 63. So this coin ended up selling for around $70 at auction. So not too bad for 25 cents. Some people can mistake this for a damaged coin. I get a lot of images of damaged coins that kind of look similar to this, but this is actually a genuine mint error. Next up is a coin that has been broad struck. So you'll see it around the rim of the coin here. Now it's not a super large broad strike, but this error does give the coin a little bit of value. The coin only sold for $22, but you know, it's 22 bucks for a quarter from 1977. Now here's a quarter that sold for around $70 that also has been broad struck, and this one you can see is a little more noticeable than the previous quarter. Now this is graded by NGC. The last quarter was graded by Annex, so this is a much better condition coin, and it's graded by NGC. So this coin around $70. This next coin has not only been broad struck, but it has a curved clip. So it was struck onto a curved clipped planchet, and that's why the coin sold for a little over $50 at auction, again graded by NGC. Now we will get into more expensive coins here that sold for thousands of dollars, but this next coin here has been multi-struck and broad struck. So again, I think this error kind of speaks for itself. You can see it very visibly. You know, you wouldn't have to inspect this underneath a microscope to see a mint error like this. This quarter sold for around $100 at auction. Moving right along to a quarter that has a misaligned obverse die. This coin ended up selling for $51 at auction, only graded at an AU 55 by Annex. Moving right along to another quarter that sold for $126. Now you'll see the reverse looks very normal, but as we flip the coin over to the obverse of the coin, you'll see that it is missing that outer clad layer. So as a result, you see the inner copper layer as opposed to the outer clad layer. So $126 there. And then here is an error that pretty much everyone knows about, right? The off-center error. So, you know, all kinds of different coins can have these different types of errors that I'm showing you today. And the same thing goes for off-center coins. So keep that in mind. This coin is really off-center, 45% off-center, and that's why the coin sold for $94 at auction. Here's another off-center, only 20% off-center, but the coin sold for around $100 at auction, graded at a 66. So a 70 is the best grade you can get. The closer you get to 70, typically the more money you can get out of the coin. Now this next coin, again off-center, 70% off-center this time. This quarter sold for $114. Moving on to something that you always want to look for, because this coin sold for $360. It was struck onto a 50-cent coin planchet. So it weighs 6.8 grams. So it's going to be thicker than your typical quarter, right? So this coin ended up selling for $360 because of that mint error, and it is graded and authenticated by NGC. Next up is a double denomination error. So we have a quarter design that was struck onto a Jefferson nickel. So that is pretty cool. I mean, super valuable coin here. The coin is graded by PCGS this time at a mint state 64. And this quarter ended up selling for $2,100. That's right, over a $2,000 quarter. Now here is the same type of error. So we have a Washington quarter that was struck onto a 5-cent planchet. So it depends on if the coin has already been struck, like has the nickel already been struck and then the quarter design struck onto it. That would be a double denomination. This is where we have a quarter design that was struck onto a blank 5-cent planchet. So this coin ended up selling for $240, a lot less than $2,100. And then we also have an error like this that can take place where a Washington quarter design was struck onto a 1-cent planchet. So we have the quarter design onto a Lincoln penny planchet. And this coin ended up selling for $600. Moving on to one of the famous 1977 quarters that you could possibly look for. This is a super valuable coin, and it's the reason why you always want to weigh your coins. So this is a 1977 quarter that sold for nearly $5,000 at auction because it was struck onto a silver-clad planchet. Now in 1975-76 on the bicentennial quarters, if you see those quarters with the S mint mark from that year, they are 40% silver. So they are silver-clad. Now they're not 90%, they're 40%. So this coin weighs 5.7 grams because it was struck on that silver-clad planchet. 1977 quarters are not supposed to be silver. This one was struck onto one of the silver-clad planchets that they used in the prior year for the bicentennial quarters. Now, not all bicentennial quarters are silver. We have a whole video on that. Just search 1976 quarter Couch Collectibles and you'll find that video. Now, this quarter, $5,000. Now, here is another example of that. 1977 D mint mark where it was struck onto a 40% silver planchet. Now this coin sold for $12,000 at auction, and that's because it has a mint state 61 grade by PCGS. Now the $5,000 quarter was cleaned, so it will not get a grade when a coin has been cleaned. So do not clean your coins because that will take a tremendous amount of value away from them. So $12,000 for that quarter because it was struck onto a silver planchet when it was not supposed to be. So here is a tilted partial collar. Again, kind of a lower end coin here. The quarter sold for $45 at auction. You know, is it worth having graded? You're not gonna be making a fortune on something like this, but you know, if you wanna have it graded, have it graded. It's a $45 coin. This next coin sold for $276. And the reason it sold for that is because if we zoom in here on the coin, you can see a retained wire that was struck into the obverse here of the quarter. So you can see that going through the cheek and the neck there of Washington. So that will give the quarter value. Of course, the condition, the grade matters as well. So $276 for that coin. So always pay attention to your quarters because you never know what you may find. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out those videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.